Yeah, let's look at 49. We want to, it says simplify, but we want to multiply these two together. So come over here. This is 49. And we got square root of 6x to the fourth times y to the fourth. And then 2x to the fourth, y to the third. Now again, some of these have shortcuts, and I'm going to ignore them. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each one of these separately and see if I can simplify the radical. And because that's what I tell my students, before you do anything, if you run across a radical, you can simplify. Go ahead and simplify it before you continue on. Well, my first radical here, I got x to the fourth, and this is a square root. A square root by default has an index of 2. Well, to figure out how many x's we can bring out, this is in our first radical, you take your 4 and you divide by your index. So this is the power and this is the index. For square roots, your index is always 2. And that gives us 2 with a remainder of 0. Now this is how many x's come out, and this is how many stay in. Now 6 is 2 times 3, so we can't do anything with it. But that says I'm going to have 2 x's come out, and the 6 remains in there, and I have no x's inside. Now for my y's, it's the fourth power also. So again, we do 4 divided by 2. You take your power, divide by your index, and that gives us 2 with a remainder of 0. And this is how many y's come out, and this is how many stay in. So we're going to have y squared here and no y's inside. Now let's look at our second square root. We have x to the fourth. Well, same as before. 4 divided by 2 gives us 2 with a remainder of 0. This is how many come out, and this is how many stay in. So we're going to have 2 x's come out, and no x's stay inside. For our y's, we got y to the third. Well, you do, again, this is old style division. 3 divided by 2 is 1 with a remainder of 1. This is how many come out, and this is how many stay in. So we're going to have 1 y come out, and we'll have 1 y stay in. Okay, now as I look through this, I don't see any absolute value. So when you're bringing anything out of your square root, you don't have to worry about putting absolute value bars around it, because they don't seem to care in this particular problem. Okay, so we simplified the radicals as much as we could. Well, now let's multiply what's out in front together. So we got x squared times x squared. Well, that'd be x to the fourth. Remember, if you have x to a power times x to a power, you add the exponents. We have y squared times y to the first. Well, that'd be y to the third. Again, we add the exponents. And then we're going to multiply what's underneath the square roots. So we got 6 times 2y. Now typically you don't want to actually multiply them through, because you want to see if you can bring anything else out. 6 is 3 times 2, and we have the 2 and the y. Remember, with a square root, we're looking for a pair of something. So here's a pair of 2's, so those are going to come out in front. So I got 2x to the fourth, y to the third, and we're left with 3y inside the square root. So 2x to the fourth, y to the third, square root of 3y. Looks like D is in David would be our answer. So 49D. 49D, and it checks.